Good evening, Contest of Champions. Week 12 is over. Week 13 has begun, and with it, I have sad news. The first team to officially be eliminated from the playoff hunt has been decided. R.I.P. Nathan. Anthony, play
No!
the sound clip. But life taketh and life giveth. Travis, the number one team in the league, has officially claimed a playoff spot. He will make it 100%. That
Clinch!
means there's only 5 spots left, boys. Yikes! We're running out of time.
Spooky.
2 weeks to go. We will be doing a playoff breakdown. Everyone is so close, it makes it easier because pretty much winning you're in and losing you fucking snooze. All right. Let's check out the pick'em. Pretty good
I don't
week
wanna.
for the boy.
I don't
Yeah,
wanna.
pretty good. That's a lot of red up there. A lot of red. Shout out to Jeremy letting us down.
As usual.
This guy. It was bound to happen though. I mean, if Jeremy played against Greg, if we picked Greg, Jeremy would have won. I mean, that's just how they operate.
Mm-hmm.
Nathan had a chance for the upset. Let us down. David upset Dan. Oof. We'll talk about that.
We'll
That's
talk
big
about that.
spice. That is big spice. Yeah, I'm the best. Moving on.
Wow.
Too good.
Wow.
Too good. Wow. Let's jump into some of these matchups. We're gonna go quickly through these.
I don't wanna. I don't wanna. Fuck you, Josh Jacobs.
Can you believe that Bender has had multiple weeks where his running back scored 50 points and they weren't the same running back? It's not Nick Chubb.
I was
Joe
like, who is
Mixon.
it? It's Joe Mixon. That's right.
When Bender hit me with a 50 piece.
It's actually gross.
Yeah. Whew. What are you gonna do, bud? There's nothing you can't do. You score 130 points, you lose. That just hurts, stings.
I don't want to talk about anything. This is just.
And Bender started 8 players against you.
I don't know. I hit him with a Tyler Higbee landmine.
Oh.
I did all that I could. I won the special teams battle. I won the flex matchup.
Listen,
I basically drew every other matchup in the matchup.
Speaking of Tyler Higbee, bench all Rams players.
That's factually correct. There is not a single
start
all defenses against Rams.
Yeah, don't start a single player with that team.
Yeah. Shout out Garrett Wilson. You were the right call. Thanks for being cool. See you later.
Listen, all I'm seeing is points for, and that's all that
points for are gonna matter. I'm excited about points for. It's just in a win and in week to score 131.
Yeah.
And it's also compounded with I'm sure it's pretty obvious at this point, but like I beat every other team in the league by double digits except for Bender. We were 1 versus 2. That's all that. That's the only thing that really hurts. It's not like, oh, you hung 160 on me. It's just, oh, it's 1 versus 2 in a win and in week. Yeah, no, it's unfortunate. Listen, that's the way the cookie crumbles in fantasy football. We're just gonna move on, and I'm just gonna keep being sad.
Yeah, we'll just keep it moving. We got one, boys.
Wow, Justin Herbert. Look at that trade for. Oh, added bonus. There was a trade on the table between me and Bender that included a Josh Jacobs Derrick Henry swap last week.
You didn't pull the trigger on it?
No, it was something like, I think it was like Derrick Henry and Mark Andrews for Josh Jacobs and T. Higgins or something like that. And I did not want to pull that trigger. Could come back to haunt me. Talk about your matchup. I don't really know what happened. What happened here? Oh my god, that's right. The Ty Johnson Whisperer.
Listen, I was baffled and partly furious on Sunday because Evan, like, within, I'm gonna say like
It was
an
like
hour.
it was like
of
11:45.
kickoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he swaps out Damian Pierce, starting running back for the Houston, Rockets,
Against the Miami
for
Dolphins.
his Miami Dolphins, for Ty Johnson, the third string running back on the New York Jets.
Did you know he was the third string running back before I told you that?
I just did the math. I was like, all right, Michael Carter, James Robinson, and I guess both of those guys are injured.
No, it wasn't James Robinson. James Robinson didn't play. He was a scratch due to injury. There was a gentleman by the name I think Jonathan Knight who was he was
cool name.
he's like a I don't know if he's a rookie. It's his first career NFL game, and he got about 13 or 14 touches. Probably shouldn't be bringing up because nobody probably watched this game except me. Probably a waiver wire acquisition. Michael Carter's going to be out, but he had I could pull it up, but like Ty Johnson had 5 touches.
5 carries.
I think Jonathan Knight had about 13 or 14. If you watched the game, he was getting all the run. Now that might have been because the Jets put it on the Bears and like it wasn't a football game in the second half, so they were like, "Why give Ty Johnson, who we know who he is, touches? We can test this rookie out." But it was wild that he started the third string running back on the New York Jets
So
over
by the
Damian
time
Pierce.
the 1 o'clock games ended,
You got
Evan and I
math,
were like-
right? Oh,
we were like, projections had us at like 50-50. And I was like, match. But then we got into the 4 o'clocks. Then Justin Herbert had a pop-off game. Kenny Walker literally gets no yards, but he scores touchdowns. So that's all
Listen.
that matters.
This is the longest gaslight con of all time, by the way. Andrew gassed up Evan and Donovan Peoples-Jones for 11 weeks to get him to start him over Adam Thielen, who wins him the matchup. DPJ lays essentially an egg against Andrew, and it's just so for troll and so funny that you've been gassing up DPJ for literally 10 weeks. And in the week that he needed him most, he needed 13 from DPJ. He failed him.
Dude, look at his. He's so consistent. Dude, look at those numbers.
This is bad for the record. Like,
no, it's not.
Yes,
No,
it
it's not.
is.
What riders do you think?
This is bad because here's why it's bad. It's not bad because like, oh, he's scoring this amount of points. It's bad because he's never going to score more.
Yeah, he's a low ceiling.
That's bad.
Solid floor. It is what it is. It's
just
not good or
start
bad.
a guy who might just start Denard Robinson. Denard Robinson might catch 2 touchdown passes. You know what I mean? Like he might score 2 points. Donovan Peoples-Jones could also score 2 points, or he can score 11. Like there's no 20 for Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Where do you think Donovan Peoples-Jones is, like on the season?
Oh, probably pretty reasonably high. I would say like wide receiver 33.
Wide receiver 33.
He's probably wide receiver 3 if I had to guess.
One moment, please.
Maybe even a 4. Now that I look at it, because like here's the thing, we look at these scores. I don't know what the 12 points is. 10, 20, 27.
He is wide receiver 40. 41?
God, like that's terrible. Wide receiver 41 should not be in your flex.
He's like wide receiver 40 something.
Okay.
Um,
You can find a guy who might just score a 90-yard touchdown, like Darius Slayton, perhaps. Who the fact that you get away with this start,
dude, he got dragged down. Dude, that's a good start. He got dragged down to 1. What? Am I gonna throw DJ Moore in? Stalwart of my team, DJ Moore. Yeah.
I actually think DJ Moore and George Pickens are better plays than Darius Slayton.
Don't talk to me.
Stop starting New York Giants, Andrew.
Don't act like you would have been like, man, you really should have started George Pickens or DJ Moore. Like, get out of here. Quit it. All right?
I started DJ Moore in a different league this week.
Yeah? What are your other options?
Allen Robinson.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, wow. The backup QB? Cool.
Let me look. I'll tell you what the other options were.
Listen,
I started him over Alan Lazard, Allen
broken
Robinson,
thumb
and Darnell Mooney. Now, to
Okay.
be fair, Darnell Mooney.
with a backup QB as well.
Okay. Sam Darnold's a fourth-string quarterback. I don't know what you're complaining about.
Listen, see what are you talking about? Sam Donald, starting QB.
Starting QB?
If he's good enough for the Jets, he's good enough for me. All right. Yeah, this matchup's over. Moving on. Evan, get a win, bud. Get a win,
Don't.
and you're in.
Don't.
Ah.
This matchup of the week.
Matchup of the week. Jalen Hurts drops 30 on Sunday night. Almost pulls Dan out of the fire.
Christian
Michael
Watson
Pittman,
is the Reaper.
Chris Watson taking lives. And he loses Travis Etienne and Najee Harris in like the third quarter.
Yeah,
Najee
that
Harris
is
went
wild.
out like relatively early.
I'm marginally upset. I coin flipped the Deion Jackson over Benny Snell handcuff pickup last night. Yeah. It was like the middle of the day yesterday. I was like, oh, let me handcuff shuffle. And I was like, which one do I want? And I was like, let me take Deion Jackson because I just don't even want Benny Snell on the Steelers offense, even if he is the starting running back.
Benny football.
Yeah.
Chris McCaffrey, absolutely submarines, Dan.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you're gonna.
So does
We kind of talked
Garrett.
about this last week.
Yeah,
With
Dan,
the
he's not touching the ball as much.
Yeah.
He's a little banged up. He's all right.
I don't know, man. I think, and you tell me how wild this take is.
I love takes.
I think that the hype for the San Francisco 49ers is absurd.
They're a really good team.
Based on what? The fucking Rams, Chargers, and Cardinals? Those teams are all not very good.
I
Like,
mean,
since they've acquired Christian McCaffrey, they are 3-1
Mhm.
or 4-1. Or I'm sorry,
4-1.
they're technically 4-0 because I think this was his first game. No. This was his
You're
first
right,
game.
it was.
I think it was Kansas City.
The Chiefs was his first.
The Chiefs was the first game. They got smacked around by a good football team in the Chiefs. Smacked around. This game was not 20 points close. The Rams
Yeah.
might be the worst team in football. We didn't know that in week 8, but they have not gotten better since then. The Chargers is a decent win. I'll admit that the Chargers is a decent win. But they're like a 500 team that will find any way to lose a game. The Cardinals suck. Don't tell me that they don't suck.
Team.
And the New Orleans Saints suck. Like, all they're doing is beating these anemic offenses.
Who else is up on the slate here?
Miami. And, like, that's it. Like, they're going to get into the playoffs for free.
Their matchup.
Their matchups are cupcake. Like, that's what's like. It has nothing to do with, like, this league. It's like watching the hype for them on, like, ESPN and, like, Talking Heads. It's blowing my mind the way they're just, like, beating these cupcake teams. And everyone's losing their mind because Kyle Shanahan knows how to run an outside zone.
They are a pretty consistent.
They're a pretty consistent good football team, but I don't think they're these like NFC world beaters that everybody is talking about.
All right.
Anyway,
little off track.
They were number 1 on Stephen A's list of like top teams in the NFC, and that blew my mind. I think that the Eagles and the Cowboys are going to take them to fucking school in the playoffs.
I think David would have scored more points if he just started a Seattle wide receiver.
Classic David will never get his wide receivers. Dude, I tried so hard to trade for Chris Godwin. David has never looked at a trade offer in his entire life.
He's never seen a trade offer.
He's never seen a trade offer. I sent him so many good offers.
Which I know you are. We gotta work on.
We gotta work on this league's notification settings on your mobile app. Just turn on if somebody sends you a trade that you get a notification. That's all. You don't even need to look at it. But like maybe you look at it in a couple hours when you have some time.
We demand you look at our bad trades.
They weren't bad, dude. I was giving him good trades.
All right, David.
Good trades.
Great win. We'll talk about this. Breakdown. Dan.
Did Dan have any options? No.
We'll talk about this in the breakdown.
Because like Brian Robinson, you're never starting him over one of these guys. Maybe over Pittman, but that doesn't win you the game. He still loses by like 3.
It's hard out there, bud.
Oh, actually, wait. I could argue that you start Brian Robinson over Christian Kirk.
I mean, you could argue it. You are allowed to argue it.
People are a fan of Christian Kirk, though. Christian Kirk's been pretty good. I'm not gonna say it's wrong, but I don't know. I'm a big Brian Robinson guy. But based on what? Never mind. That would have been a bad start. Based on logic, bad start. All right, we'll move on.
Hey, David, why you have Mecole Hardman on your IR slot? You really holding out for Mecole Hardman?
Isn't Mecole Hardman like dead?
I mean, I don't know, man. David's holding it out. All right, moving on.
Got 3 defenses. He has 3 defenses on his roster.
Dan, drop Kareem Hunt and Cam Akers. What are you doing? What are you doing holding that garbage? If it's not good enough for my team, it's not good enough for yours. All right.
Gross.
Keep it moving.
Gross. Wow.
Woo, woo.
Wow, this was both the matchup clincher and the matchup
Yes.
eliminator. They
Yep.
played each other. Alvin,
Nathan.
please.
Nathan, all I'm gonna say, and I'm sorry that you have been eliminated, but you are pivotal in just ruining somebody's mood over the next 2 weeks.
Please no.
You play
Please no.
you play Anthony next week, and you play either Bender or Dan in week 14.
Dan.
Please, Dan.
To be fair though, if Dan loses this week, his matchup against Nathan won't matter.
That is true. But if he wins, then that
His
just makes
natural,
Nathan's matchup
yes.
all the more
Listen,
important.
Nathan.
Nathan, you have a chance
Nathan,
to be
there's a
powerful
crisp
spoil
$20 bill in the mail.
Ooh.
Okay, I am gonna need you to
Listen.
bench all of your good players.
Listen,
Show
drop
me
a-
some
drop
Drake
another
London
zero
this
on
week
that.
and some Naheem Hines.
Oh, Travis said, "Listen,
Can't ask for more, by
I'll-
the way. My matchup to
I'll
get into the
lose.
playoffs is literally. We'll talk about it later.
I'll lose all the running backs in the world, and I'm still
Remember when we
gonna
shit on
drop a 30 piece."
we shit on Miles Sanders early season? We were like, Miles Sanders isn't a good enough running back to carry this team.
Early season, yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Dude, nobody believed in Miles Sanders. That's why Travis got him like the 4th round.
Fourth. I'm pretty sure he got him like the 7th.
Mhm.
79th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great value. Great value.
Nobody believed in Miles Sanders
Nobody believed
anywhere. Anywhere.
Not at all. Because he sucked last year.
He didn't suck, but he did not.
did.
He did not.
Because
He just
last year,
last year the problem was draft
he was third or
capital.
fourth.
He was a third,
Exactly.
fourth round, and he did not return. He returned about 7th round value. And to be fair, looking at this year, like he's not going to have 1,000. He was going to finish with about 1,000 yards and maybe 10 touchdowns. Like that's like 5th round value, 4th round value, because he's not available every week either. Like I mean, he's boom or busty. He's like RB2. He's gonna mellow out
scored
next year.
touchdowns
He's
or
gonna
not?
be like a 5th or 6th round pick, and
I mean, his whole game is, did Jalen Hurts vulture a touchdown on the goal line? Like,
yeah,
that's how I see
he
it.
also doesn't catch any passes. Also, my brain forgot that we are 2 weeks away from the end of our regular season,
Yeah,
but they're
they've got
not.
a lot of games
He's gonna
left.
finish with 1,200 yards, not 1,000. Okay.
I wasn't gonna like call you out on that.
My brain forgot that we have 2 weeks left of our regular season. They have like 7 weeks left of theirs.
All that matters. All that matters is
So
us.
yeah, so he's actually now that I look at it, he'll probably be like a 3rd round running back next year again.
Yeah.
He's gonna finish with 1,210.
He's gonna be fool's gold next year, 100%.
Maybe.
Travis, you're in, buddy. You are in.
You're in.
You're just fighting for
Fuck
your
you.
bye.
Fuck you.
Traylon Burks. That was the stupidest play I ever saw. All right.
I'm so.
Travis, great win, Nathan. You still have the ability to just ruin.
You don't.
somebody's
You don't. Just
fantasy
take
season.
take a couple days off, Nathan. You'll be fine.
You can just make somebody so mad and do it.
It's just sad. It's not mad. Travis,
Ugh.
start Kyler Murray. Those are that's gonna be an important 12 points, by the way. That's important. Travis and Jeremy are locked up in the points 4 matchup. We didn't talk about that at all, but it's just it's a 2 minute. Oh wait, I forgot. I didn't see Bender. Oh, sneaky little Bender.
Listen, if Bender keeps dropping 160-point weeks, yeah, he's gonna get up in the points 4. Bastard. All right, listen, we're not there yet. Stop looking at schedules.
Gross. I'm not looking at schedules. I'm looking at points 4. Those are different things.
We gotta get through this.
I don't wanna.
I know.
Very unmotivated.
Kyle.
Kyle.
4-7 boys.
4-7 boy. Did every 4-7 boy except Nathan won, right? We picked this. We saw this coming. This is a double pick. What was this double pick based on?
Dude, we're looking at Kyle's team and we're like, wait a minute. Kyle's team has a healthy roster. These guys are pretty good.
Yeah. I think it was that, and it was all of Craig's backup running backs became backup running backs again this week. The princess turned back into the pumpkin. He forgot he started the wrong backup running back.
Zay Jones, Zay Jones, the Donovan Peoples Jones of Craig's team.
I would argue that Zay Jones is better than Donovan Peoples Jones.
I would argue he's not.
He's not. Never mind. Triangle Hasty. Good pickup.
Kyle's gonna get a little scary, boys. You better watch out.
I don't think Kyle can't realistically make it. Kyle would need like back-to-back 180s, like 180 point weeks
Oof.
to compete
Oof.
with like the points tiebreaks he would need. I don't remember if I thought this in my head or said it out loud. Remind me if you remember. Did I say out loud that Tua Tagovailoa was going to curb stomp the Texans and like not play the whole game? I can't
Yeah,
remember.
I'd have to check that.
I feel like I said it, but I don't
Um,
100% remember that I said that.
Listen, it only matters in the sense of that's 6 points that Craig doesn't have, and that's important. Points four, boys,
What's
is
6 points?
going to
Oh,
be
just Kirk Cousins versus Tua. Yeah, yeah.
points four is going to be
Um,
the
is
big decider for a lot
is
of these
Craig one of the
teams.
points for people? I don't think he
He's
is.
low. He's
He's
low.
really low. Like
He's like
there's a
with
few
me.
people when we get into the matchup. We'll do matchups. We'll do outlook before we do this week's matchups, as we look into Greg and Jeremy.
Greg turns it
Aaron
on.
Rodgers.
What was his other option? He just carouseling.
Literally everybody in the league. He just carouseled.
Ugh,
Like, I mean, we could
dude,
look.
Aaron Rodgers.
We could look.
Ugh,
We can make him feel bad about it.
it's Derek Carr. I already know.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. I don't think anybody's starting Derek Carr though.
Oh, dude, it was Mike White. How could you?
Oh God, there really weren't that many matchups, huh? How many points did he need? I mean, he needed 10. Like, it was
Yeah,
literally like Derek Carr, and that was it. Derek Carr's the only one who wins him a game.
yeah.
Everybody else, actually, I think he loses because he needs 12.4. Yeah, he loses.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
9?
9.5 to this is 11
yeah,
point. It's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
11.3. He would lose by 1. He would have needed to start Mac Jones or Mike White.
Oh, dude.
Shout out. Shout out my boy.
AFC East out there. This is a tough loss for Jeremy. Jeremy could have gotten into the playoffs on this week. You hate to see it. Greg.
Jeremy, not
We're
as
gonna
much
talk about
as
Greg.
not as much as Travis has all but clinched just based on points for. It would be extremely unlikely for Jeremy at 7-7 to not get in with how many points for he has. He would have to, kind of opposite of Kyle. He would have to drop like back-to-back 70s, and the standings would have to break in a way where enough people could tiebreaker him out. I don't think that's possible. I think Jeremy is realistically just in at this point.
This match is more important for Greg than it was. Like Greg's win
Oh,
was
for
more
sure.
important than Jeremy's loss.
Greg loses here, he was done.
Yeah, he's definitely
Not done, but
had a rough spot.
effectively. Put it this way: this puts Greg in a position to fight for a first-round bye. Anybody with 8 wins is going to be contesting the number 2 seed from Travis.
Yeah, no, this win was huge for Greg.
Yeah.
What are the
options? We didn't look at any options. Wow, he leaves Trevor Lawrence on his bench. That's points for right there. Honestly, though, Greg, I don't know. Wait, hold on. When did you pick this guy up?
Greg's had him for a while.
November 9th. Oh, that's too long to be on your bench. But I thought this was a stash that he like kept away from Jeremy. It's a good no drop because I bet Jeremy would have started Trevor Lawrence. Why did you start Aaron Rodgers in Philadelphia, Jeremy?
Yeah, I don't.
It's a weird start.
Again,
it didn't matter. You didn't have options, but
yeah, I don't know if it was tied to any of some of his bets that he had like queued up.
That's a weird start. Did you have other options? No, not really. Nothing else breaks the matchup for you.
Raheem Mostert being a surprise out was a little shocking. Not really surprising.
I don't think it was surprising, just based on the matchup. Like they're playing Houston, they don't need Raheem Mostert. Give him the week off.
Yeah, and honestly,
this game wasn't 30-15 close. Like it was 30-0
Jeremy,
at halftime.
I think you start Jeremy's other 3 running backs over him anyway, so I don't think it matters.
Yeah, because he was in the lineup. He wasn't in the lineup when we did this breakdown. Because he wasn't. Because Jeff Wilson was over here, and we kept talking about how Raheem Mostert was on his bench.
All right, moving on.
Hey, they coin flipped the wide receivers. Jeff Wilson greater than Raheem Mostert for this week. You want to do Outlook or you want to do next week?
Outlook time.
Okay. Outlook time. So we'll go to standings.
Give me the stat tracker. Give me the stat tracker.
Oh, you want stat tracker? Oh, stat tracker is very convenient for this.
Yeah.
Always open in other tab, by the way. Never open new stat tracker window.
Hate that. I always open new stat tracker window.
I hate it. I think it's disgusting. I always tab. Always tab.
All right, hit me with the league stats.
League stats. I got it. Optimal lineup.
All right, boys.
Wow,
we are
he started
doing
optimal
the
lineup.
playoff breakdown. Okay, we're gonna
start.
We're gonna start at the easy ones. Okay, right now, Nathan out. 5-7, boys.
Sag.
5-7, boys. Daniel, me, Kyle, the only chance that we have to get into the playoffs is to win out. We have to end the season 7-7. Based on points for, Dan has the best chance to secure a spot at 7-7.
Thanks, bud.
Kyle, not even close.
Yeah.
Me,
Honestly, you
bottom of the barrel.
probably not close. I mean, not close.
I'm not close.
You're gonna need a couple, not a couple, but you're gonna need at least one like 140 piece in here. You're gonna need like 250 combined points over the next 2 weeks to
I don't
contest.
see that happen.
I don't either, but I didn't
Hey,
realize
listen,
how
far back.
you were out.
Yeah, no, my team not good. 5-7 boys, that's the deal. Win 2, you might be in. If you drop,
It's
another
comfortable
game,
to say if Dan wins 2, he's in.
yes, I would say that.
If Dan wins 2, assuming he scores like because he's got to win both games, so let's assume he scores at least 200 points. That would be enough to break. It'll be enough to break Craig. It'll be enough to break David, probably myself. Like it'll be enough to break most people. If Dan wins 2, I would say you're in. I'd have to break really weirdly for you to not be in.
Yes. Okay, now let's talk 6-6, boys, because that's where the real meat is.
Let's also here. Let me do it. Actually, here I got an idea. Give me the side by side. Give me the side by side of 6-6 boys and the slate for next week.
Okay. Let's start off with our boy Bender. He is right now has the most points at 6-6. If he theoretically wins out, he is easily in contention for the first round bye at 8-6. I think so.
Travis the only thing that would stop him is Travis winning one more, and me, Jeremy, or Evan winning both.
Winning both, right? So Bender has a
I guess
plausible chance.
In theory, Jeremy could overcome the 40-point deficit in a 1-1 scenario.
Yes.
That is also an option.
That is.
In theory.
Bender keeps scoring 160.
But yeah, again, we're operating under the assumption that if Bender goes 2-0, he probably scored 100 to 125 points in both weeks, and this scenario includes Jeremy going 1-1, so you'd have to have like a big loss to contest that.
Goes without saying, 6-6 boys, if you lose twice,
you're out.
You're out. Bender's going to go up against Dan in a powerhouse matchup of the week.
Wow, look at that.
120 plus. Bender could, and I love it's the two of them. Bender could
rivalry week
Dan's playoff hopes in a single week and propel himself towards a first round bye. This is very poetic. Dan has the chance to, of course, dagger Bender in the back to increase his own chances and, of course, sabotage Bender's. Love to see it. Don't know what's going to happen. But we'll get into that matchup when we get there.
Mm-hmm.
Greg, 6-6.
The comeback boy.
Comeback boy. 13-20. He is going up against Evan. Evan has lost 5 games in a row. If Evan loses out, I don't know if he makes the playoffs.
I don't know that he gets in, but it's still possible. Again, he still has the points lead against most of the 6-6 boys and most of the 5-7 boys.
So
assuming he loses twice,
he's
probably he won't have he'll have about 200 points combined, maybe.
Yeah,
it depends who it is.
60 points ahead of me.
Yeah.
But like, he's only 40 points ahead of David.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, you're only behind him by 20-ish, give or take. I mean, it's so.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Has the chance to win.
Evan needs Jamar Chase to come back now.
And then lose 7 games in a row.
That is insane.
I would not want that to happen. I hope Evan just gets a win and gets in, and then we don't have to worry about it.
Listen, I hope all the 7-5 boys. Let's just grab a win collectively, fam.
Wow. So that's so Greg. This matchup obviously is huge for you. But even if you lose, you're still not out, and you still honestly have a pretty decent chance as long as you win your Week 14 matchup.
So you're looking at the matchups for both weeks right now, right? You got to pull it up on your screen.
Kinda, yeah.
Let me ask you this question: does a 6-8 team make the playoffs this year?
I don't.
It doesn't feel that way looking at these standings, but Is it
based off,
possible?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
I'm gonna say
You
no.
think enough 6 and 6 teams are going to play each other where just like everybody has to break for a win?
Correct.
Because like I'm just looking at this in theory, right? Like let's say you win, Dan wins, Kyle wins, and Evan wins. We have 7 teams on 6 and 7
Wow.
fighting for like 2 playoff spots.
Fighting for.
I think there is a perfect storm scenario where like
Maybe.
Bender gets in at 6 and 8 and just tie breaks everybody.
Yeah.
I'd have to look very specifically at the matchups because there could
Yeah.
be every single person in the league except for Nathan, me, Evan, Jeremy, and Travis could be 6 and 7 after this week. Like none of you guys play each other
Mhm.
to a point where you could all be six and
Oof.
seven.
That
Wow,
is
what a finish that would
weird.
be!
That is weird.
What a
Don't
finish
know
that
about
would
that,
be. I mean, it won't
but
happen, but
Greg, listen,
first time ever.
Greg, big week, buddy. Just get this win, and you're in a great spot. Uh, depending on how the chips fall, you'll be in a great spot.
Hope you win,
Rather
Greg.
than fighting for like 5th and 6th, he could be fighting for 3rd and 4th. I don't think first round bye is in the cards
First round
unless.
bye is in the cards for anybody with 6 wins. It's just unlikely.
Yeah, yeah. All right. David is up against Kyle. Kyle's. I don't know
Here we
what's up
go,
with his lineup.
Kyle. Here we go.
Why is his projected point so low?
I don't know. We'll get there in a minute.
David. I mean, listen. There was a time when David
About 4 wins
12th
ago.
place.
About 4 wins
Yeah,
ago.
he was 12th place, and we were like, nah, because he was like, everybody was like 3 and 5, and he was the only like 2 and 6 team. We are like, David, I gotta get out. Hate to see it. David said, how about no? How about I just win 4 games in a row, you nerds? David, win out and just go to the playoffs and get like a third round, third spot. That'd be pretty cool. Definitely possible. You can do it.
I was a big David fan last night. The David win, I mean, just in terms of points forward for myself, is huge.
So
As
David gets to play Kyle, but then he has to face Bender in week 14. That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be a tough one to overcome. Greg, by the way, gets to play. What the hell is Greg's team? He plays. Oh, Craig. Wow. Say, good old fashioned week 14.
that's probably a week
name
14 name game playoff win and in
Right.
scenario.
That match was gonna be crazy. David, you got this, bud. Gregory.
I think it's time,
Streak.
by the way, for the name change. You're 500, Craig. That's what
you
got you.
Have come back?
You have come back. Therefore, you lost when you were like comeback question mark. You were 6 and 5. You came back. You know, you had to flip the script,
Wow.
or just the comeback exclamation point. Period. We got to change the.
Craig's beautiful win streak has come to an end. Sitting at 6 and 6, still a really solid spot.
Very alive.
If Craig controls his own destiny, if he goes 8 and 6,
8 and 6 is a lock for everybody in the league. Win and in 8 and 6, you're in.
Problem is, Craig has to face the world beater, me. Then
weird champ, but okay.
Weird champ, but then of course, as we
and just got to combine 400 points in the last 5 weeks. The world beater.
He plays Greg. So, Greg, beat me, and you're in a great spot. Lose to me,
yeah,
but you will, and you're fighting for your life.
I don't think any team is like terrifying to play against right now, except for Bender. Like if you're not playing Bender, you feel good.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe Dan, but like
but they have to play each
just
other.
just based on the coin flip, like either Dan's team is gonna curb stomp you or he's gonna lose by 6. Like that's just pretty much what happens to Dan every week.
So, Greg, at 7 and 7, you don't tiebreak anybody.
No.
I really feel like you need to get to 8 wins.
Probably.
Your chances of getting to the playoffs are going to be kind of weird.
That weird perfect storm scenario probably includes you going like what I was saying with everybody being 6 and 8. There's probably a way in for you at 7 and 7.
Yeah, that's. Hey, Craig,
A lot
don't
of
even worry
things would
about
have to
that.
go that way. I want everybody to know in the pick'em, I'm picking purely for that doomsday scenario. I'm going to pick every
Just
matchup
pure chaos.
just for chaos.
I love that.
I
I love
want
that.
every single team in the league to be 6-7 after this week, and it's all winning in scenario. I love that.
All right, now let's talk about our
I mean, there's not
upper
much to talk
echelon.
about. Win and
Uh,
in. 8 wins is
just
in
just
for the
just to
three of
give you
us.
a brief overview of who will be playing who. Anthony is going to be going up against Nathan this week.
Can't ask for
Uh,
more.
big matchup. I know. You get
I
the
get to
12th
play the
place.
guy in 12th place. No offense to Nathan, but like I have a win and in game against the guy in
However,
12th.
after that big
No,
game, he has to play against Jeremy.
which let's. I'm just. Jeremy plays Travis this week. Travis, he's been known to have a pretty good football
Yes.
team. The matchup between me and Jeremy could be for the number 2 seed next week.
So here's the thing for Travis. I'm glad you brought him up. He plays Jeremy this week, but
Mhm.
then he plays Evan in week 14. I
Wow,
mean,
so he
you
is in
guys are just
full
taking each other
control.
off.
He is in full control of his first round bye destiny.
Correct. Correct. He just has
I
to
mean, to be
win.
fair, Travis just has to win one game. 9 wins is a lock for the first round bye for him because Evan and I will not be able to tie break him. Maybe
I
Jeremy
mean,
can.
Jeremy can. So I mean,
Yeah, but
yeah,
but he gets a
but it's a
first round
lock.
bye
It's a
being the
lock.
1
As in, yeah,
seed or the 2
yeah,
seed.
yeah.
So like he's locked as one of them. With
So
one win. He's probably locked with as
that
of now, I would expect Travis to be one of the number 1 or number 2 seeds, even if he goes 0-2, to be honest.
that being said, Evan is playing Greg this week.
hmm
Uh, scary matchup. I mean, Greg's not a walk.
Dude, nobody's a walkover. I mean, that's the
He's a
beauty of the
walkover.
league this year. There's no free win anywhere on this card.
And as we discussed, then he plays Travis. So I mean, he has to. I mean, Evan might lose 7 in a row. He might go 7-7. Uh, which would just be absolutely heartbreaking.
Tragic.
Jeremy gets to play. He's playing Travis this week, so big matchup, 1
hmm
versus 2, and then he plays you, Mr. Antonio.
Which will hopefully be 2 versus 3 next week, Jeremy. That's the goal. That's the goal. Jeremy, hopefully we can
Uh,
just have a good old fashioned let's fight for a first round by handshake. Everybody's going to the playoffs. We're all having a good time. That's the goal.
I mean, it's gonna be crazy how this shakes down, boys.
Oh, I
This
wanted to
year.
mention this. Sorry, I'll cut you off a
Mention
little
it. Go
bit. I
ahead.
wanted to mention this during my sulking hour. I remember this yesterday. I don't want to take anything for granted here, boys. I'm just happy to be in the conversation in week 12. All right.
Hey,
Listen,
happy to have you.
it's been a few years. All right. Listen, we got real upset yesterday after the 160, and I just thought, you know what? I'm around.
Right,
It's
buddy. You're in
nice.
it.
It's nice.
I mean, I think this goes without saying. I feel like
Shut
this
up,
is
by the way.
easily the closest year we've ever had.
0.5. Perfectly
I mean,
balanced. Yeah, for sure. It's not even close.
it's crazy.
Between, I think I mean, I've ran it down. There was the year that Phil ran it down. There's a year that I think that Kyle ran it down.
Yeah, Kyle ran it down pretty hard.
Um,
Dan sometimes runs it down.
and I think there was, yeah, but usually I run it down like one game worse. To be fair, I've probably run it down twice. And that's 4 out of 5 years. So like, and this is the 5th year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think so.
so yeah, Phil ran it down the first year. I'm pretty sure I ran it down the second year and last year, and then Kyle ran it down the year in between.
I mean, yeah, boys, this is gonna be a great this
Photo
week
finish.
is gonna be fantastic. Everyone is gonna be fucking checking the stats. How many points did they score? How many points did they score? Who beat who? It's gonna be fantastic. I
It's
love
funny because it might be so troll. Just like my perfect storm chaos scenario, I bet there's a scenario where like if the winds break the wrong way, next week is useless.
it. Yes, very possible.
Like if I win, Bender wins, Jeremy wins, Evan wins. Like if the top 5, if we all win, it's just the 6th seed and like that's it.
Yes, then
Yeah.
it would be very unexciting.
It'd be so unfun. It would just be. It would
Except
just
for all the
be.
people playing for that 6 spot.
Yeah, but it
Then
would just
maybe
be like it would because in that scenario, Dan loses to Bender, so he's gone.
Yep.
And it would
If Evan
just
wins, then I'm
be
gone.
if Evan wins, you're gone.
Yep.
No, you don't play Evan this week. You play Craig.
Oh, I already played him.
Yeah, you already played him. In this scenario, you're technically alive because you're untouched by those
Yeah.
teams. Oh
Yeah.
wait,
So
Jeremy and Travis both can't win. That doesn't really affect anything though. Their game is
no,
like
but
useless for the
yeah,
6 seed.
Travis can lose and Jeremy wins, and it's fine. It doesn't
Yeah,
change
it
anything.
doesn't change anything. So like,
It'd be like me, Craig. Is it Craig? Me.
it's you.
Yeah.
It's just you,
Oh no, because I have to
Craig.
beat Craig. Yeah, me, Craig, David, and Greg all scrapping for that 6 spot.
So yeah, whoever wins your matchup, and then David and Greg. And
Oh no, because of yeah, no, it'll still be
yeah,
yeah.
it'll
That's
be
pretty much it. I'm
it'll
looking
be
forward to it.
whoever wins your game, plus. So
Yeah, that'll be
actually, no. So here's what I'm gonna say. I think so. In the perfect storm, you win eliminates you and Craig in that scenario because neither of you are gonna tiebreak David or Greg.
that is true.
So it would just
I
be
could tie break
David and
David.
Greg.
I'm only 20 points behind David. I could tie break David.
Maybe. Hold on. I gotta look. What's the schedule look like for who do they play in the next week?
Uh,
He plays Craig and David plays Bender. Oh God.
yeah, yeah. David plays Bender. See, that's the thing.
You could tiebreak David. Wow.
I could
Do
tie
you
break
do
David.
you make it in the chaos scenario?
No, I don't make it. I don't make it. Don't give me that false hope.
All
I
right.
don't make it in.
Let's get into some matchups. Even though we've already kind of
Matchup.
talked about everything, but
We'll hit
match
these
it up.
pretty quick.
These should be pretty quick. I will of course pick myself.
I
Those are the
am
rules.
I am not as we've already discussed. We're not picking based off matchup. We're picking based off of what's the most chaos. I'm picking Nathan.
That's not chaos. That's not chaos.
Boys and boys, wrap this up.
That's not chaos. That's so mean. Let's quickly actually look at matchups.
Oh,
Um,
I don't wanna.
Nathan's matchups are pretty not good.
I just want to pick based off how I feel.
Nathan's matchups are pretty not good. My matchups are also pretty not good. So
Nathan,
actually,
hope
I
you win,
mean,
buddy.
running backs against Philly are great. We love that. We love running backs against Philly. We'll see if we're starting Tom Brady or not. I don't know. That's up in the air.
Alvin Kamara, stinky.
Hope
What's up with
this
with
guy
that?
doesn't play. Sit him down for the season. The season's over, Saints. Sit him down.
What's going on with Alvin Kamara? Well, dude, honestly, you know how we were having that conversation about who's the biggest disappointment? Alvin Kamara's up there.
He's up there, but like he's also not because of this stretch. But he's up there for sure.
He's up there for sure.
Based on draft capital, he's like a second round pick, late second, or I'm sorry, early second.
Nathan took him 12th.
Yeah, but whatever. So he's 12, 13, early second. I think I took him like 16th in Fever or something like that. 16, 17th. But that was a slide. I mean, yeah, in that range, he's definitely up there. I think the group of running backs in front of him, though.
Listen, I'm rooting for a.
I'm not gonna say that anybody's a bigger bust than Najee Harris, so it's Najee Harris.
For sure.
Yeah,
I am.
we're in top 3 though, probably.
Mr. Big Mike Williams comes back against the Raiders and just
Please
drops
don't.
50 on you.
Please don't.
I think Nathan. Moving on.
Please don't. I'm really just hoping Alvin Kamara doesn't play. If Alvin Kamara doesn't play, this feels like it should be pretty comfortable. Let's go Washington. I'm going to be at this game, by the way. I'm going to watch Saquon Barkley score 50 against me. I will be at the game. Sadness. I need you. Come back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I need you. The boys, by the way, Marquise Brown, shout out, had a pretty good game in a comeback game. He'll be good. We're gonna load up double Cardinals for a lot of weeks this season.
Listen, easy matchup.
Give me chaos.
Oh, it's me, baby.
Get him out of your lineup.
Dude, Darius Slayton has been really good over the past 5 weeks.
Get him out. Honestly,
maybe
hope
not
Darius Slayton
really
scores all the touchdowns for the Giants this week, Andrew. Hope Darius Slayton scores all the touchdowns. Craig, your running back fucking room is now just terrifying to look at again. But hopefully Tua will play all 4 quarters and he scores like 50. I don't know. You could still win, but to overcome 16 points in the projected is
I would like
a
to
lot.
petition.
You have 111 points. Jesus Christ.
I would like to petition a 4th running back slot.
So you're playing Isaiah Pacheco? I did this when we were looking at this week's matchups. I go, how is Isaiah Pacheco not in his roster? And I just go, oh, gross. Do you live it? Actually, yo, Loki, do you start him over Monty?
I don't want to get into that. Don't confuse me.
Let's get him in his head. Let's get in his head, boys. Let's get in his head.
I would love to. I would love to do a then versus now for everyone's rosters to see how it's changed over the year. Because there's a lot of trades this year. Like I started this year with Dalvin Cook and Kareem Hunt, and those were like my only 2 running backs. And I think it's funny to see how people's
Do you
rosters
have a
change.
single player in your starting lineup that you drafted not named Dalvin Cook?
No,
No,
I didn't draft any of these players.
you didn't. DJ Moore is the only other one I think on your roster.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Hey, stay water, boys. Stay water.
Stay water.
All right, moving
Stay
on.
water. Stay water. Quickly. Oh, matchup of the week for sure. Matchup of the week for sure. Give me
matchup.
chaos.
Who'd you pick? Hold on.
Slam Dan. Give me the chaos.
Listen,
I will pick the 6 and 7 nightmare scenario.
No, I know Dan's gonna be upset with me. I have to pick Bender. Because like I can't beat Bender in any nobody can beat Bender in any tiebreakers. I need Dan to just be out of the picture because I can't beat him in a tiebreaker.
Bender is going to YOLO roll the dice on the Deshaun Watson.
Dude, again, revenge game is beautiful. I love the narrative.
Deshaun Watson scores 7 points in this matchup. I just want you guys to know that 7. He looked so bad at preseason. Also, I forgot to mention this during the rundown. Josh Jacobs got hurt and missed a series because of his calf in that game. It wouldn't have mattered, I don't think. I think I still lose by 8 or 9. But fuck you. The fact I thought I had a chance. He's got Joey Mix though, who will probably be back.
Probably come back from concussion.
So either way, he'll have one of them.
Listen, and again, I know Dan's gonna be upset. I want Bender to win so Bender can spook one of the current 7 and 5 boys. Dan's out because I can't beat him. And then we'll just see where the chips fall.
Listen, you're picking for you. I'm picking for Doom. So
yeah, I'm picking. Of course, I'm picking for me, baby.
Yeah, of course.
4 and 7, boy.
Wait. So Kyle doesn't have a defense, so that's why this. And he's starting Jermichael Hasty, who's going to get a significant bump, when the settings come out, or when the Yahoo bump comes out tomorrow.
ETN's gonna play.
Is he?
I think ETN's gonna play. ETN said he was fine. Wow.
Hold on, he's on David's team.
David has ETN. But listen, if ETN and Najee, because Najee's a little banged up.
Oh, they're saying so. This says that ETN could have played in the Baltimore game. See, I know that's bullshit. That game came down to the wire. They were fighting on every down, and they're like, Travis Etienne, don't play.
Yeah, I mean, the other part of that is James Conner's on a bye. So, and Damian Harris is on a mental bye. So, I mean, he might just start Jermichael Hasty anyway and just hope for backup points. Wow. Who should win this? Jesus.
I mean, this. So
for Chaos, it's got it. For Chaos, you want Kyle.
For Chaos, it's Kyle.
But for me, who is it?
For you, it's Kyle.
I can tiebreak David.
Yeah, but you still just want more teams in the scrum. You don't want David to 7-5 you out.
I love David though. All right, I'm picking Kyle. Let's get it.
I mean, yeah, we're gonna pick this now, but realistically, this matchup probably hinges on Travis Etienne playing or not. If he plays, David probably wins. If he doesn't play, this probably becomes a true 50-50. Because David can just start Cordero Patterson, he'll be fine. But Kyle's gonna get a literal 9-point bump in his projection.
Yeah.
I will pick Kyle for the chaos.
He's gonna have to hit the wire. All right. Whew. Matchup spicy.
Where are we? This one.
Greg. Who do we? Oh God.
How many points these guys have?
Greg has a pretty good points for. I think for chaos.
I was like, who do I? Because this one isn't chaos. It's me. I think.
Yeah, this one's too this one's too important.
This one is I don't think this one has any. I mean, the chaos answer is Evan.
Is it?
Yes, because you want the guy with more points for to be 6 and 7. That just makes more chaos.
Yeah, but see, so that's the reason why I think I want Greg.
You want Greg to win.
Yeah.
Because you can catch Evan in points 4.
Yeah. Greg.
Let's quick matchup check. Quick matchup check. Josh Allen in New England. Jamar Chase the comeback week. Maybe. Stephon Diggs in New England.
Yeah, I don't think that mattered the last time they played.
Sure doesn't. DeAndre Swift, not a real player. Love it. Not in the lineup.
Evan, I don't think you're gonna get away with Ty Johnson again. You might.
I mean, I don't Michael Carter's not going to play, so like he definitely might.
No, but is he the starter or the backup?
Based on what I saw, I think that I think that Ty Johnson will probably be the 60-40 starter. Like
Interesting.
he
Interesting.
he
Interesting.
will get a majority of the work, but this game is not going to be nearly as running back friendly as beating the brakes off the Bears by 30. So like,
Oh, now,
yeah,
oh, I
I'm
mean,
really hoping for
boy,
that with Garrett Wilson. We didn't talk
this
about that.
matchup's wild. I'm going Greg. It is so unfortunate. I would hate for Evan to go 7-7, but from a purely selfish, I want to get in the playoffs scenario, I would like Evan to go 7-7.
Look at Greg's like on the road boys. His entire team is playing against like a top 10 defense on the road
Don't
and
at me.
or the
Oh my
Giants.
goodness.
Uh,
Oh my goodness.
that is listen, I actually think this matchup, this is you don't say this very often. I think it's going to hinge on the quarterback position. Does Joe Burrow just drop a 40 piece against Kansas City in like a 50 to 48
At
shootout against Patrick Mahomes
at home,
at home against
maybe,
Kansas City? Potential like
maybe.
AFC Conference Championship preview, or does Josh Allen in his own potential like AFC Conference Championship run just drop a nuke on New England? How many points did he score against New England last time?
I guess I was mistaken. They have not played New England yet this year.
No. And now this was weather circumstances. The last time he played in New England was that fucking wind game last year where New England won like 6-3 and they didn't throw a pass this entire game. That was the last time he played in New England.
Can we? I just very briefly. Stephon Diggs. Uh, what a really solid first round pick.
Stephon Diggs will be the number one overall receiver in fantasy football next year in terms of draft, probably. Like Cooper Cup's coming off an injury, but like realistically, you're probably looking at Stephon Diggs being that like fifth overall player. It might be Cooper Cup. Yeah, actually, now that I say that out loud, Jamar Chase on Evan's side of the ball. Like if Jamar Chase isn't hurt, he's also up there.
Yeah, he had some weird weeks, but I
I
think
mean,
that was
there's just
more
weeks
play
where he didn't
calling.
score a touchdown. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was more play calling than anything else. All right, I've gone for Greg. Let's get it.
I
Evan,
think I'm
love you.
also picking Greg just in terms of personal. I would like a chance to fight for the number one seed.
Oh, for sure.
And
For sure.
if I go 2-0 and Evan goes 2-0, that's pretty unlikely. So I'd like Evan to drop at least one of the next two. So I'll pick this one.
All right.
And last but not least, the game of the week that is also the least important game of
The
the
least
week.
important. It doesn't
Yeah,
affect anybody.
it doesn't affect
except
anybody
like the top
but
guys.
except you two and me and kind of Evan. It's really all that matters to like three of us. And again, quarterback health going to be a big question mark because Kyler's gone. That's right. It's the Kyler bye week.
Jimmy G.
I mean, Jimmy G against Miami. It's a great matchup but who is Jeremy going to run? Does Justin Fields play?
Yeah, that's a big one.
Because if you are the Bears, your season is over. You have a
Bears.
bye week next week, and then this like gauntlet of teams who you've got maybe the best team in the NFL, a top 3 team in the NFL, a team that has won like 4 straight, and in conference, and Minnesota, who at this point is probably honestly, I mean, this point doesn't matter. It's the last week of the season for us, and might not even matter for Minnesota. They're probably not playing for much.
So
But
listen, I based purely off of narrative. Travis is already in the playoffs. Jeremy, let's get that 8th win. Let's get you in there. I'm picking Jeremy.
Wow. See, here's the coin flip, right? I am going to pick Jeremy.
Okay.
Because when we both pick Jeremy, bad things happen for Jeremy.
Wait.
I want Travis to win because Travis is already in. He's the first one seed. I need
Wow,
Jeremy.
so you're
I
doing the
need Jeremy to
reverse.
take an L. This is reverse chaos.
Well,
If I pick
that's
Jeremy and he loses to Travis, I need Jeremy to lose at least one of 2, and I need to win 2.
Listen, is there anything more chaotic than reverse chaos?
Reverse chaos.
Chaos in reverse. All right, boys.
Jeremy is a
That's
kicker.
it.
Jeremy's projected to win this matchup.
That's it. All right.
Big Gabe. Big
Best
Gabe.
of luck to everyone.
God,
Of course,
your teams are
obviously.
spooky.
Well,
I don't want to play these football teams.
They're not 1-2 for nothing,
By
bud.
the way, we didn't talk about the significance of this, but the first round bye is so crucial to not get buzzsawed by Bender in the first round of the playoffs. That's the reason that you want a first round bye. Somebody's gonna have to play. Somebody's gonna have to play Bender in the first round and just get decimated.
Listen, hey, nobody wants that. Nobody wants to lose in the first round, but somebody's got to. Boys, that's it. We're done. Big love.
Big hour.
Welcome to December. All right, we're in it. Christmas time, lads. Turn on your Mariah Carey.
Gross. Bye.